Hi, this is Sebastian Griffin. Sebastian Griffin Tay Kian Guan here. Today I would like to talk a little bit about democracy. Now I would like to start with the illustrations of knowledge. I believe knowledge is power. Knowledge is equivalent to power. And in a military or in a junta government, where the government is ruled by the militant, this is exactly what lack of in a junta government. Uh, a competent or a knowledge-based administrations. Now, no doubt the military or the army general can force those technical personnel or professor or those expert in certain field to do their works, but without voluntarily, without the willingness, they will not do it properly. The difference between a junta government and a civilian government is that a civilian government, regardless whether it's a communist, a democracy, or a republic, uh, as long as it is operate or it is run by civilian, it is more toward a knowledge base than intimidation and all those rule by force. Now I'd like to give example. This is an example. Now today I return a product I order from Lazada. Lazada is akin to Amazon or eBay. I brought a water bag, this electric heating water bag. Now why I buy this? This is only cost me 35 baht. 35 baht is less than a pound, less than 1 pound, one sterling pound, less than one. It's about $1, $1. Now why I buy this? The reason being is that I like to simply illustrate why. Now first of all, it comes with a small heater. Now this small heater can heat up to I think 65 or 75 degrees Celsius, and the water will maintain there. Just plug in this 3-pin plug to the socket here, and then connect this plug to the electric, and then of course you need to fill up the water. Before that you need to unplug this one and fill up the water, and with around two spoon or 2 teaspoon of salt. That means dilute 2 teaspoon of salt or 1 teaspoon of salt into around 750 ml of water, and then pour it in. Fill this bag to 2/3 of the volume, and then you can simply once you fill one time, you do not need to refill. Now the best thing about this is that when you need to travel out, you do not need to carry the water. You can plug out this one and drain the water, and then you plug it in, fill the water and plug it in when you arrive at destination, so you will not exceed the limit. I think the airport limit is 100 ml for hand carry, so you can drain the water and it become very light and very compact. You can even fold it and then you bring to hand carry to the airport, and then when you arrive, and then you can just fill up salt, 1 teaspoon of salt plus water, and then you can plug it in, charge for 3 to 5 minutes, and then you plug out, and then you close the pin, and then it good for 3 hours. You can put it on your jacket. There's two compartment. You can put it on the jacket. Why this is environmental friendly also is because it does not use battery. The salted water is acting as a battery. So in comparison with the hand warmer, normally those electric hand warmer operate with battery. They are using battery. Now battery is toxic, and if you do not recycle battery, I think most of the country, they do not recycle battery, or I would say less than 5% or 10%. So the problem is pollutions. This battery are made of a lot of lithium. Whether it's lithium or the previous battery, they are actually toxic. But salt water is natural, is non-toxic, and it can act as a battery for heating up your body, provide heat, or to smooth pain. If you have a pain over your shoulder, you charge already, and then you can put it here for 3 hours. It will be good. It will be warm for 3 hours, and sometimes even more if you have a good insulation. So this is a very environmental friendly and very economical and also very people's friendly products. So that means it actually complied the 3 pillars of sustainability, very sustainable. But the problem here is that when I order this one, my product is always being sabotaged, and I believe it's being sabotaged by Yu Tong's mother or those chabo. And I hope they do not sabotage me. I suspect the reason why they sabotage me is because they do not know how to use this. They probably charge the water back while they're using, so they might got electric shock or something like that. So knowledge is very important. If you do not read how to use these products, if you do not know how to use and you do not find ways or find you do not read the manual, or you do not you see there's a warning sign here. You do not read the manual, you do not know how to use, and then you just simply park and use. Probably they got electrocuted or what, I do not know. And this is why they're discouraging me to use. Now the problem here in Thailand is that Thailand there is an integrity problem. It is not only limited to Thailand. I believe all the developing country, all the poor country or the developing, the so-called developing countries, they are poor. Those developed country they are rich, and developing country normally they are not so rich. And as a result, people in the developing country, in terms of their civic minded and also their thinking, are also not so matured. So as a result, probably the law enforcement also their integrity is not there and give way. You see, I having a problem here. I'm actually applying for political asylum in Thailand. First is as a temporary political asylum and then permanently. But I got rejected from the Thai embassy from Malaysia. Now the thing is there is by the law, actually by the Thailand law, there is no such thing as a political asylum. They do not accept any political asylum by law. But of course the government can grant special conditions, or they can case by case basis. For example, the most Myanmar that they fled to Thailand, I believe Thailand government is kind enough to accept them, to give them some sort of legal paper so that they can reside in Thailand. So I believe this is a very kind gesture, or very kind move of this Thai government to accept the Myanmar refugee, or the Myanmar those that fled to Thailand to seek asylum. So but my case is a bit complicated, because for those Myanmar refugee, they fled here is because they are being persecuted by the junta government. That is what they claim. But as for my case is very special, because I also, not only I fled here because of persecution from the Malaysia government, which I believe the Thai government do not want to antagonize with Malaysia government, because Malaysia are somehow more developed than Thailand, economically stronger than Thailand, and also internationally have more political influence than Thailand. And also on top of that, also there are commercial reasons which I also entangle with the inheritance dispute with the Resort World Genting and also my father's side of the family. In fact, I already disowned my father, and when I disown my father, I actually do not want to have anything to do with them. I'm not interested with their inheritance or whatsoever, and I have never received any financial benefit from my father's side. As far as I remember, I have not received a single cent. They are super wealthy. They are based. Most of them are actually based in Singapore, and they own a lot of huge portion of land in Singapore, and also a lot of businesses from OCBC, one of the biggest bank in ASEAN, and also one of the biggest bank in Singapore, to many others companies. They quite established in this region, and in fact I believe they are also quite influential in Thailand. And as a result, the Thailand government might also compromise a little bit because of that influence. And also I believe the Resort World Genting also pledged to invest billions of dollars in Thailand. So in that sense, I believe that's why my delivery, what I order from Thailand, my product can be sabotaged. Actually the water bag that I ordered, I already returned because there was no plug here, and also the charger was not functioning. I believe these are all the sabotages as a hint to me that they do not want me to buy the water bag anymore, simply because they do not know how to use. The same reason they actually the same reason they it is stupid enough that they actually brought a real Python, to scare me off just because I told them I'm learning Python. Now Python is a new program, a new computer language that can do a lot of things. They can create form and store data without the need of hosting. Uh, if you know Python language, there's a lot of things you can do in computers. There's a lot of money and time you can save using Python. But Python is not a snake. Python is not a physical snake or animals that will harm people. They will attack people. It's not that kind of Python. But somehow over this region, over the developing countries, they misunderstood, and that's why I found a dead Python in my hotel. I believe this Python were being sent to me, sent to my room, and to intimidate me. Because I told them I will use Python to help my business and to help me to do my work. So they are actually trying to undermine me. My family side of the member, both from my father's side and my mother's side, and probably not probably but definitely my cousin. My cousin has been undermining me. Undermining means they are trying to subjugate me, trying to make my uh, learning process or my progress less efficient, or they're trying to prevent me. They're trying to prevent me from learning, from progressing ahead, whether it's in the economy or in my personal life. That is what it means by undermining. Not underestimating. Underestimate means you look down, but undermine means they are trying to push me down. Now they are able to do so because they are accessing into my family wealth, and my family are very influential in Singapore, also in China. They are communists actually. I do not as of now I do not know whether Singapore is a communist or is a republic. Although it's structured in a way like a republic, I will say a democratic republic country, but somehow it also functions like a socialist. And Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, the founder of the country, also are not secret about how Singapore function. It is more like a socialist according to him than democratic country. Now Mr. Lee Kuan Yew are not he is not afraid of speaking out against the West. Now I'm not saying that the West or the white people are 100% correct, and the Asians political system or the Asian belief are totally wrong, because Asians civilizations are some of the earliest, like the Hindus dated more than 8,000 years, and also Chinese civilizations. The most obvious one is about 2,000 years, but it can trace back to 5,000 years since the Xia dynasty. The Qing dynasty is about 2,000 years, where the China consolidate. Now, Xia dynasty is a bit different, where Xia dynasty, most of the Chinese kingdom, I'll say, they are scattered around, so they are not consolidated into big countries like what we know as China now. So that is a difference between the different interpretations. Of course, China gains its biggest landmass during Yuan dynasty, the Genghis Khan or the Kublai Khan. That in that dynasty, in that era, that is the biggest landmass the Chinese have. But I also like to say the Yuan dynasty, the Kublai Khan and the Genghis Khan, they are not Han peoples, they are not Han Chinese, they are Mongolian. So in terms of ethnic, in terms of race, they are not Chinese race, they are actually more, no doubt they are the same, genetically are the same, but they are belong to another different civilization in the sense that their writing system, their language, they are different, are not Han Chinese language, are not Han Chinese writing script. They also have their different culture, different way of life. They are nomadic life, they live a nomadic life, but after they settle in China, they become they are being part of a Chinese, they adopt Chinese writing system, they adopt Chinese political system, and so on and so forth. So this is what I have to now come back to the democracy. Now the difference is with military is that the military government actually they are using force, using gun, using force to intimidate the knowledge, the wise people, or I call it technical personnel, in order to force them to work for them. So under that scenario, this whether it's a doctor, engineers, or these technical personnel, they might not have the full potential when they are under intimidations. Now, in a democratic setting, in a democratic country, the people's representative, no doubt they have the biggest power. They are elected by the people. That means each constituency, the whole country probably divided into hundreds of constituency. That means hundreds of this area that the people can vote one person to represent them, to make law, to debate about the country budget and all that, to fight for them. That means these people called the members of parliament or people's representative, represent the people, or the congressmen in the US, represent the people to as a voice for the people. And then some of these representatives actually become a minister or prime minister, become a premier. Now in a US setting, the president or the number one public servant, or I call it this premier. The premier of the US is the president. Now he is elected by the people from the country, the entire country, not the individual constituency, not by the others member of parliament or this member of the people's representative, but elected based on the state. That means if a state got a country, like for example in US got 50 over state, if this 50 state, the majority of the state vote favor Donald Trump, then Donald Trump will be the US president, and this US president have the power directly. He can make the law immediately, called executive power. He has the executive power to make decisions on behalf of the country, because he got the majority state vote to vote for him in order to represent the country. So Myanmar could also adopt the similar political system, and also they have also each constituency or each area also have a representative to make law for them, or to talk about budget, and when to debate about the budget when the executive come up with a budget, they can debate on the budget. So this is a good thing about democracy. And when we come back to knowledge base, each of these member of this people's representative, they have a secretary, and this secretary is actually the one that that actually advise on the people's representative what to do. And also below the president, below the US president, also have a lot of state secretary, have a lot of army secretary, and all these secretary, whether in a foreign affair, whether in the field of foreign affairs, whether in the field of defense, or in this economy and all that, they represent. They're actually not voted by the people, but they are actually appointed. Now this technical, I call it a subject matter expert. This subject matter expert, they're actually appointed by the people's representative or the president. They could be those are like state secretary. All these, they are actually appointed by the president. And of course, in the lower level, each local government, like governor is actually the so-called the premier of the state, or I would say the highest leader of the state. Now this highest leader of the state, they also have below them also have the subject matter expert. So this subject matter expert in each every field, whether it's in architecture, engineering, all that, they actually appointed by the governor or appointed by the president to advise them on matter relating to law, on matter relating to human rights, on matter relating to warfare, on matter relating to, their subject matter expert. They are focusing on their specific field. And they are not being pressured, they are not being, I would say, they are not being intimidated, they are actually being appointed. So in a way that they can actually manifest their innovations, or they can actually properly function their role instead of being intimidated by the army general. So there is a huge difference between an army general and also a democratic system, a civilian run country, and also a junta government. Now, talking about this water bag, I believe the person behind the sabotage is actually probably Yu Tong's mother or those Chabo. They are acting like a junta government. They do not have knowledge. They do not know how anything functions. They just want. They also do not know what is a rationale, what is a design, what is anything. They do not have any knowledge at all, and they are also not entrusted. They also do not trust anybody. Now, when they do not have knowledge and they do not trust the subject matter expert, and that is a dangerous. That is a danger of them operating a country. I believe they are just like what I say. They are akin to a guard in the bank. They just want to rob the bank for their own benefit without giving back. Now, I'm not saying democratic elected leaders are 100% clean. Democratic elected leader, especially in a developing country, also succumb to corruptions when they have a lot of money. It's just like a bank clerk or a bank customer service. They are also succumb to corruptions, or also succumb to the enticement of money. When they look at money, they're managing a lot of money for the people. They might also become their integrity also could be tested sometime. So I'm not saying everyone is imperfect, but the good thing about democracy, there is a check and balance. You can sue the government, you cannot sue the military government. You can sue the people's run government, you can hold them responsible. And every 4 years or every 5 years, if they are not favored, if they are found to be not competent, you can actually do not want to vote them, do not want to elect them. You can elect another person to be your representative. Now, of course, if you found them corrupted, or found them commit crime, the judicial arm or the judiciary branch of the system, democracy have 3 different check and balance. One is judiciary, one is executive, another is legislature. Legislature means those a branch that make laws, and then executive means those that implement the law, or they run the country, and then the judiciary means those who enforce the law. Now, if the executive member, whether it's the president or governor or whichever, the state secretary or whatever, whoever committed crime, or break any law, the judiciary or the public prosecutor can actually charge the government staff or the premier and hold them responsible. I think South Korea is a very good example. The president found to be corrupted, and then she is being charged in the court and found guilty. So the good thing about democracy is you cannot do wrong. When you do wrong, there is a check and balance, and therefore there is no absolute power, because absolute power equal to absolute corruptions. And this judiciary branch can come into picture and hold them responsible. So that is a good thing about democracy. And also, if each and every constituency have their own representative, they're elected by the people, they can be the voice of people. Like, for example, because in a military run country or in a communist country, they assume or they presume everybody needs is same. everybody capability or competency are the same, which is wrong, in reality, because in reality every individual is unique. Every individual strength and talents are different. So you cannot assume everybody is the same. Everybody needs also different. And this is why there is a need for constituency leaders that represent the people, that they are based in the constituency, that they are particular constituent, and they listen to the people within the constituent, and then every week or every 2 weeks they can go to the parliament and voice out their concern. And when there's any law come into picture, they can also represent their constituent, represent their constituency, and to get the maximum gains or favor for the constituent. Say for example, some constituent are agriculture-based activities. They, when come to budget, that constituency, that people's representative could probably will want to join with others agriculture-based constituency to fight for more budget for the farmers. This is for example. And also for example, the constituency in Lazio probably they want a railway system connect to China, so and also to China, so that they can benefit from the trade. And if that project actually connectivity between state and between country is actually fall under the federal government jurisdiction. If there is a possibility for Myanmar to connect from China to India, go through Mandalay. Mandalay, I think, is a central locations to connect China with India in Myanmar. And there are actually two locations. When I look at it, there are actually two locations for Myanmar to connect China to this India. One is the Reiling area at China, which can connect to this Lazio. Another is near the Thailand side. From Chiang Mai, Thailand have to build a railway to Chiang Rai. Then from Chiang Rai, they can go to a place near near Myanmar called Tachele. And this Tachele actually located in Myanmar, bordering Thailand. And this location actually can connect to Keng Thun. Keng Thun can connect to China, and then from there to Kunming, actually nearer. And then from Chiang Rai also they can build a railway connect to Laos. So that area, the Golden Triangle area, actually that particular area, the Chiang Rai area, can be a connectivity, can have a connections, a triangle, Golden Triangle railway connections from Thailand, Chiang Rai to Laos, from Chiang Rai to Myanmar, and from Myanmar to China. So it can create a Golden Triangle connections. Right now, there is already high speed rail from Bo Tien to Vientiane, go through Rampabang and all that. So the Chiang Rai railway can also connect to the Laos, and at the same time connect to the Tachele, connect to Myanmar, and that will make Chiang Rai a very vibrant city where they can connect to both Laos and also Myanmar. Of course, right now there is no railway in Chiang Rai. There is no railway connecting from Chiang Mai to Chiang Rai. Not even Chiang Mai to Chiang Rai there is railway. Have not built the railway yet. But there is a good potential for Chiang Mai to Chiang Rai, and then from Chiang Rai can go to Tachele, and also going to this Laos side. And then from there can connect to China very easy. In fact, it's a shorter route from this Chiang Rai to China. And then from this Tachele can go all the way to Mandalay. So this Tachele area from Keng Thun area actually a very strategic locations, can connect to Mandalay, and from Mandalay can connect to Manipur in India. And then from there is a huge there's another alternative sail route for China, which I believe China is more than happy to joint venture with Myanmar, to joint venture with Thailand, to joint venture with India to have this connectivity, because China actually is a super powerhouse for industrial, especially consumer goods. China actually produce 2/3 of the world consumer goods. Now, if these world consumer goods would to reach India via a railway connections, that will save China a lot of money, whether it's money or time, because instead of going through from the port, going through all the way uh, through the Southeast Asia Sea, this Southeast China Sea, they can straight away from the land, they go to China, go to India, shorter distance, shorter time, and also uh, cheaper in terms of logistic costs for China, and also can actually stimulate the economy growth in the west or the southwest of China. Right now, the east side, the far east side of the China, the coastal area, is very rich, but the western or the southern area of China is poor. So if the railway system were to be materialized, China southwest area, the Kunming area, even the Tibetan area could benefit from this railway link, or the new Silk Route, I will say. So I hope Myanmar government can consider what I'm saying. Myanmar military also can play a role in the government as a state secretary, or the army general in charge of the defense, purely on the defense. Myanmar is a huge country, I believe 600,000 over kilometer square. It's the largest Southeast Asia country by landmass. So in terms of defense, there's also a lot of things to do to control the border, to control the immigrations, to control so many, to have so many tasks, I would say, so many jurisdictions, so many purview under the military, the army general. So please do not intervene, do not meddling with the country politics. Let the civilian do the politics, and let the subject matter expert advise on the people's representative what to do. Now, the benefit of the democracy system also, the people's representative will not use force against the subject matter expert, because people representative positions are actually determined by the people. If the people do not like them, say for example, a constituent elect a leaders, MP, members of parliament or congressmen, to represent the constituency for 5 years. After the 5 years, if that constituency leader is not favored, the people can elect another person. But the subject matter expert normally retain in the ministry. For example, in the finance ministry, there are many subject matter expert. Many subject matter expert mean many expert that is expert in the financial, whether in the financial engineering or the financial management, or these people, they are professors, they are industrial expert that probably in the industry for more than 20 years, 30 years, and they are well trained academically. Probably they got a master degree, got a PhD, and got a postgraduate, a postdoctorate in their specific field in the finance industry. And that is why they have all the knowledge to advise the minister. Now the minister, probably they do not have any knowledge in the finance. They are just people representative that is favorable, the people's representative that represent the people, or the party, the political party that won the elections. Now in the democratic system, there are multi political parties, and the political parties that won or that win the elections, the leaders will be appointed as finance minister, education minister, or state secretary, or whichever high-ranking position. Now this high-ranking position minister, they might not come with the knowledge, but one thing about them is that they might not they might not use force, or they might not use a weapon or firearm to intimidate the subject matter expert. The subject matter expert position, actually their job security are more secure than the minister, because they have the knowledge. They are using their knowledge to secure the position, not their weapon, or not their uh, family ties or whatever. You know, some countries, they are how they got into a high ranking position is because of their family tie, which is very sad. They are related to some monarch, or related to some nobleman or royalty. Then they become uh, state secretary, or secretary general of a certain ministry department, certain government agency or what, which is wrong. In a democratic system, this head of agency, or the state secretary, or the general secretary general of a ministry, they are actually appointed because of their competency, because of their knowledge, their experience, their competency in the field. It is not because they are related to somebody, or they are through bribery or what. Now, so by right, it is through their competency, their experience, and their expertise in the field, then they are appointed into the positions. So in that scenario, a country is functioning based on knowledge. A country is functioning based on knowledge, and not based on affiliations, not based on the so-called this I forgot the name. There is a phenomena where the government only give job to their cousin, to their friend. Cronyism, it's not based on cronyism. It's not based on this kleptocracy. Now the problem in Malaysia is, or also I think also same in Myanmar, is it is a kleptocratic. It is based on kleptocracy. It is based on cronyism, where they are giving jobs, or they are giving special position, or high ranking public positions to their cousin, to their friend, to their family members, which is wrong. You must give these high ranking positions based on their competency. And also the minister actually are normally are the people's representative, that the political party, they won the elections, and they represent the people, so that they are actually favoring what the people want. They are listening to what the people want, and therefore when they do the job, they are actually favoring the people. They know what happened on the ground, because they are actually they are listening on the ground. Like those military or kings or something like that, those are people, probably they are living in a different world, a world that they do not know what the common people, what the civilian life is. Like for example, one of the prince in Europe, told me he want to kill all the poor people. To me, he do not value the poor. He do not value life. He also do not treat his citizen as human. And this prince is actually a very well-known prince, and so sad that it happened, that he do not value the life of the poor people. Now, one person being poor does not mean forever he is poor. Jack Ma is one of the richest men in China, a billionaire, and also one of the richest men in the world. He is not born rich. He is poor. He used to be an English teacher. Used to be a poor guy, but now become the richest, one of the richest in China. So nobody is poor forever, and it is very sad for me to know a prince, a very prominent family, a prince that is going to be a king when his father passed away, or his father when his father no longer abdicated, or what, I do not know. So this is what happened when in a monarchy, in a royalty, or in those noble society. They no longer consider the poor. They no longer consider those needy on the ground. those low level society citizen as their citizen. Now by right, you should consider a leader of a country should consider each of the citizen as their people, as their citizen, and that is why we need people representative. A people representative represent the people that hear the needs of the people from the lowest society up to the highest. Of course, I'm not saying a people representative only represent the poor. The people's representative also represent the rich, represent the poor, represent his constituency. If his constituency have a lot of rich people, then he can also represent the rich people. If his constituency has a lot of poor people, has a lot of people they need jobs, then this member of parliament or this people's representative have to voice out the concern that his constituency need some business or something to generate some activity, some job, in order for the people, in order for that constituency to lower the unemployment rate, for example. So that is the importance of the member of parliament, is to listen to the people, to feedback to the parliament or the congress what the people need, and not those high above that do not care about people, simply because they never live the life of a commoner. Those royalty that never live a life, never taste the life of a commoner. They do not know, they do not understand what the common people going through, how they're going to meet daily needs. They have no idea. So as a result, they do not even care. So in Malaysia, it's even worse, because most of the royalty, most of the sultan, there are 9 sultans in Malaysia, and out of all these 9 sultans, their origin are dubious. Their origin are very dubious. None of them actually got the established a sovereignty properly. None of them actually fought the colonial power to gain independence. None of them. And none of them actually established the kingdom and fight foreigner or fight invader or actually conquer the land. None of them. The only kingdom, the only Malay kingdom in Malaya that actually conquered the land and also to actually repel foreign invader is the Malacca kingdom. But the Malacca kingdom actually fall when the Portuguese invade Malacca, and subsequently the heir or the descendant of the Malacca kingdom, the Malacca Sultanate, founded Johor kingdom, and even after that, they also did not continue the Johor kingdom, Johor Sultanate, because the last Sultan, Sultan Mahmud, was being assassinated, and he does not have a heir. He does not have heir means there's no there's no descendant to continue his throne, and as a result, the kingdom end there. And after that, all the whoever who claimed to be a sultan, they did not repel the foreign power, the colonial master, which is Dutch, and then after that English come, the British. After the British, the Japanese came, and after the Japanese occupations, Japanese occupation is actually quite obvious. The Japanese established education system. They want the people to pledge loyalty to the Japan Imperial, and not to the Sultan, not to the Malay Sultan. So it's very clear that none of the 9 states, any state in Malaya none of the state actually still with the Sultan. No state in Malaya during Japanese occupation no longer belong to the Sultan. It's all belong to the Japanese Imperial. They implement the education system, they implement their administration, public administrations, and people have to pledge loyalty to the Japanese Imperial. So that was during the Japanese occupations, and thereafter the British came back. So we can see that none of them actually established a kingdom, the Sultanate in Malaya. So this is what I want to say, and of course I also I would like to take this opportunity to thanks Thailand government to have me here. to understand my situations as a not only as a political asylum seeker, and also I seek protection from Thailand government against my own family member who attacked me, who are trying to and those inheritance rival, which I did not fight with them. I am not interested to fight with my father's side of the cousin for any inheritance. I actually disown them. I do not know until now. I do not know who's my father. I do not know who's my grandfather. Despite they came to me, I think my grandfather called me more often, but I already disown them. Means I do not want to have anything to do with them, and I hope they do not want to entangle me because of inheritance rivalry or what. I do not know. I am not interested to have anything related to them, especially I know they are communists. I am not a communist. I do not favor communism. No, although I have good relationship with China, I think China is progressive. Is a very progressive country. I'm not interested to join communist. I'm not a communist, and I will not consider to join a communist. But I think China government is functioning well, and uh, they are they are actually progressive, very progressive, and also uh, uh, well, I do not have any problem with them. This is what I want to say. I'm not antagonizing with them. I like Chinese culture. I'm a Chinese by ethnic. I was born a Chinese. More, I believe I'm a Hokkien. That means Fujian. Somewhere, my ancestor actually came from Fujian. I speak Hokkien, but I'm not a Chinese by national. I'm not a Chinese citizen, but I have no problem with China. Okay, I have to state this very clearly. I'm not a communist, and I have no problem with China. Now there is a difference because some of the Chinese citizens they are not communists. They can consider to join communist party, or they do not want to join communist party, but they also can be a China citizen. But I am not China. I'm neither China citizen nor am I a communist. Because my father's side of the family, I believe they are a communist. They are probably a CCP member, and also they are an MCP. They are still fighting for communists in Malaya and Singapore. So there is a difference between me and them. I do not want to associate with them. I do not want to fight inheritance with them. This is my stand. I state this very clear. So this is me. I'm a pro-democracy member, and I believe democracy is the way to go. Although I know not many people could probably understand what I'm saying now. And I also, of course, I just want to repeat myself. I would like to thank Thailand government for hosting me. I appreciate everything Thai government do for me. Anything that is positive that the Thai government do for me, I would like to thank Thai government for hosting me. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ